Hello, people. I'm hoping you guys are referring to this live because you saw my earlier advertisement about this amazing webinar that is happening tonight. I am so thankful and grateful to be part of this amazing experience. And basically, this is the Diaries of Successful Africans presents stories and journeys of Africans winning. And I am so honored to be part of this amazing panel of Africans that are, well, I guess, winning. So I'm going to get straight into it. I guess some people want to know, what's her favorite color? Some people want to know, what does she like to do for fun? But I think the main question is, what's her story? And I want to be as cliche-less, if that can be a word, as possible, as I tell you guys about my journey. I want to tell you guys about the hardships. I want to tell you guys about the trials and tribulations. I want to tell you guys about the things that aren't as glorified for me, that I think have paid a lot towards who I am today and how I have come to sort of accumulate what I've accumulated in this industry and in my personal capacity. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So I just like to say I believe in God. Plain and simple. I also believe in luck. And I also believe in fate. And I think the one thing being God. And these two little things have really steered and controlled my life and its turnout. So I just want to put that out there. Right. I said we're going to leave the cliches out the door. So you're not going to hear where I was born, how I was raised, all that shandies. We're going to get straight into the nitty gritty. I hope you guys are ready for that. So just a bit of insight in the biggest impacts of my life, I think. One being bullying. I was bullied in my primary years. And I find that this kind of bullying makes it very hard to move on. I was bullied in a way where they took things that I consider now blessings, that I consider assets, that I consider strengths, and they sort of turned them against me. Let me get more specific, so that you can really know me. It was about the 5th grade, although we don't say that, we say grade 5. And I just entered a new school. I was so optimistic. I was so happy. I was just, on this mission. I'm like, let's discover a new world. And I'm quite a nice person, I think. So I entered very optimistic and very bubbly. It was a boarding school, a weekly boarding school. So you go home on the Fridays, come back on the Sundays. I remember entering there and saying, "Hey, ladies." And then everyone like, "Who that? Who that be? Oh, that's the new girl." That kind of vibe. I was like, oh dear, there is this that I have to get over again. But we pushed through. But one thing that persisted in those years was me being bullied by this young girl who I know now is a very probably beautiful, successful young lady. And I remember her just making me feel less than in any way, making my appearance seem less than. And I don't know, not that I was feeling myself or anything, but I was like, I'm a good looking gal. My 11-year-old self ain't bad looking, but she was able to sort of twist my mind into thinking that there was something wrong with me. I bring this up because I understand how bullying is a part of a lot of our lives. It's something that isn't necessarily shared, I think, amongst well-known figures. And I think it's very important to know that, A, you're not alone in those experiences. honey, I have had that experience. And B, it is definitely not the end of the world. It is definitely not the end of the world. I wish I could go back in time and tell my teenage self that don't listen to what they have to say, because essentially they don't matter. They don't really account for the amazing things that you're going to do in the future. But how they do account is that they made me grow a thick skin. They made me realize that a lot of negativity, a lot of tough criticism is coming my way as an actor, as a performer, and I need to be able to take that with thick skin. I need to be able to sift through the nitty-gritty, see what's genuine, see what's not, and be able to discern that for myself. So I think that's one of the biggest impacts that I've had, where it was a negative, but I took it as a positive. The next thing are talent shows. Now, I'm sure as children, we've heard about talent shows that are coming around at this time of year, and I'm sure you guys are like dreading it, like, oh, I don't want to go there, I don't want to do that. I relished every moment. That was my spillion. Oh, I think that's when you start to see that, no man, this is more than just a hobby. This is more than just a little fun thing on the side. This is a calling. Honey, I don't know how many characters I've wanted to be. I don't know how many characters I have been, but talent shows have been a monumental sort of gear shift in my mind that really makes me understand that, no man, this is serious. This is going to be your life in the future. So what I want to say to that is take part. If you're in school or high school right now, and there might be a netball thing happening, a volleyball thing happening, a play thing happening, just go for it. Who knows? You might just enjoy it. You might just have the best time of your life and really find your calling. If not, hey ho, it was an experience nonetheless. So I think when it comes to that, I'm just saying, why not? Just why not? Okay, a lot of you guys have been wanting to know about the romance. You've seen me with rings on. You've probably seen my boo, I hope, because I post him regularly. But anyway, I'm here to sort of shed some light on how I approach love and how I deem love to be. I have loved love songs since I knew what love songs really meant. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, wow, these deep feelings of heartbreak, of betrayal. And I've never experienced that in my life, mind you, at my 12-year-old self. But I think being someone who has been in touch with their emotions has really, really helped me in shaping the kind of characters I can become, understanding emotion to begin with. I think it's something that's very important. Not being afraid to delve into your own emotions and see what that feels like, so that you are able to delve into a character's emotions, to understand what their sadness might be, what their happiness might be, and so forth. So I personally thank Taylor Swift, because she done did the things for a girl like me. If there are any Taylor Swift fans listening in, please just send your favorite song. I'm sure I will relate 100%. But yes, I think what I've taken from that impact is not being afraid to show my emotions to the ones that I love, not being ashamed of feeling. We are human at the end of the day. Life teaches us to be tough people, but I think the toughest people are the ones that are able to emote themselves. And then we have the actual romance. So, when we look at Nontle, I want to believe that back in Cape Town she had a boo thing. But she was, 15, 16? Now that she's moved to Johannesburg, one of her first loves were Mpo. And it was such a genuine and amazing experience for her because she saw someone who didn't necessarily view her as this child, or eventually didn't view her as this child, saw her as an equal, someone who can contribute to conversation, someone who has gone through things despite her age. And I think that really helped them click, them bond. It's too sad it ended so quick. Very, very sad. But you never know. Do you know what I mean? It's generations the legacy, boo. You never know what's going to happen. But in the real world, Ubuntu has had her fair share of infatuations. I don't even want to call them loves, because you think you're in love and then you realize, honey, that wasn't love. That was infatuation. I had a crush. So I've had a fair share of crushes. But my first true love is the person that I'm with now. And I want to say to that, just love. It comes naturally, so why not? If you get hurt, hey, it's life. If you don't, hey, it's life. Just be safe. Know when you are being disrespected. Know your no's, know your yeses. Just always have your back, but do not be afraid to love. And if love costs you, honey, that ain't love. That is not love. So that's all I have to say on romance, darling. This might be a bit of a awkward topic, but mathematics. Oh. I feel like it is the biggest inanimate object that pushed me to who I was really meant to be. Hi guys, so fine, your girl is getting maybe 60s, yazama, going to grade 8, grade 9, command, sure. Comes grade 10 for us to choose our subjects. Mama Bear is like, no, honey, you're going to do pure math. I was like, okay. Alright, again, grade 10, then pure maths. Oh, it wasn't pure anymore, if you know what I mean. It just started looking like a lot of numbers, a lot of letters dancing around. It even got to a point where I thought that I was, there's a word for it. Like on the page, there's a word for it. I think it's dyslexic. It's a form of dyslexia. But because I'm like, man, like last year, I could tell this is a Pythagoras. The X and the Y do that. The next year. No, it showed me flames. So fine. Your girl then did the thing, she pushed through, grade 11, and on by this No. No, mama, one report about him. Yo, done. Maths lit. Nothing. Oh, son. I see. I did maths lit, guys, and I'm proud of it. I am proud of it. And I still consider myself a smart lady because that's the misconception about maths lit. Insane. Like born pure maths, ne? I don't know what other schools call it. There's ad maths, but I think that's like a higher grade than pure maths even. But pure maths. But maths lit kunzima payana. But kuya and you do what you have to be done. And I'm proud to say your girl flourished. So, no more gloating. What I want to say to that is, ngamanye amaxesha guys, ilane yakho ayifani nenye ilane yomnye umuntu. Yaqonda? And do not be afraid to step to your lane, to step to the side and be like, that's not me. That's not me. I know I can thrive here. I think it pours into any part of our lives, even when it comes to friends. If you find yourself in a situation where izithombi are doing like odd things, it's okay to remove yourself from that situation. Honestly, it's much better than regretting it once you've gone down a dark hole that you cannot get yourself out of. Believe you me. So yes, I have maths to thank because it pushed me to the right direction, you know. I was quite a smart kid in school, and a lot of opportunities were like sort of, you know, quite open to me. I'm like, okay, Chonga, I can do this. This is what I need to do. Not because it's easy, because that is another misconception we will get to very soon, but because idinga mna namdi ayidinga. Yabona sinalando. Sure, and anyway, moving right along. I want to share with you guys my experience on Teenagers on a Mission. I'm not sure if all of you know me from there, but I'm sure some of you do. So I started there, okay? I had just finished high school when I started doing Teenagers on a Mission. I had auditioned like the other people, and by the grace of God, I got it. By luck and by fate, I got it. It was so terrifying. We have to look in the camera. We have to do this. We have to do that. I'm so nervous. Oh my goodness. But and I did what needed to be done. And it seemed to have worked because I got the part. Those years, about 3 to 4 years, were some of the best years of my entire life. One thing that is like a highlight for me that I've learned from that experience is it's like a dark place. Like you can be shown the pits. But if you still want to do it, if you still have the desire to wake up in the morning and go for it, like you are not in the wrong place. And I say this in terms of a career path, you know, because you do get those like toxic places where no, this is where I want to be, but you know it's not for you, but you keep on going. I'm not talking about that. I'm genuinely talking about you being in a place where Ozazba Zotini after high school. You're not sure of which career path to go. Put yourself out there. And if you maybe endure something where but it was exciting, it was thrilling, as you were doing it, it was horrible, but as you came out, you were so satisfied, you know, because you do get those jobs where in the moment kunzima, but afterwards you were just you just filled with so much joy. Those are the kind of things that you need to hold on to, because that is where the money is, honey. That is where the longevity is. Even if you have to make the business yourself, that is where it is at. Okay. Anyway, so I started presenting there on a science and technology program, and I learned so many different things that I really, really, really hold dear to my heart. You know, there are some fun facts that I bring to the table in parties or chillasses, and I'm just like, Jonga, did you know? You know what I mean? And I seem like a smarty pants, but I am. I mean, I've learned because I've experienced these amazing things through that show. So if you haven't seen it, YouTube, all you have to type is TOMZ season 9, 10, 11. The corner. I mean, you can watch the others, but Uzonbona, watch those ones. Uzonbona. And I'm sure it still plays SABC 1 or 2 throughout the day, at some point during the day. So yes, I think that experience for me was such a great sort of catapult or a jumping start to the experience that you guys know me to be in now. Speaking of which, let's go to that. Generations, the legacy. So, I'm sure niyayazi man, niyayazi into yakhona. Asazi the story. But a friend of mine was part of an agency, and his agency had asked him, Bana Chwanga, we're looking for someone like this. Do you know of anyone, Mhlambe? Because he's a very revered person within the agency. You know, he's a hardworking guy. He is a learned human. So we were going by Chwanga. We trust your recommendation. And then I just happened to be someone that he knew very well. And we studied together at Wits. I don't know how he'd feel about me atting him like that, but I'm very grateful to that young man. So anyway, then I had gotten a call, Bana Chwanga, as this agency, we'd like to sort of offer you an audition to this very big television show. We're in need of a Xhosa speaking young girl who's able to play as a teen. I'm like, okay, I can do it. Mind you, I'm in my 4th year of dramatic arts, Wits. I almost saw, but kunzima, hectic, rough. This was njani exams zam xa abantu bafuna ndishute, like if I get the part I have to shoot kwakulo nyaka. But I'm like, you know what, God knows what he's doing. Luck is in store for me. Fate has it figured out. Okay, I'll go to those auditions. I did, and he pulled out the stops and I